Hello and welcome to this new video on my DIY remote control project and the new iteration of my console. We have already seen in the previous video that this new iteration has come to an end. In this video we will be going into details of the main functionality. We will see if it really works, what is working well and what is maybe not that working that well and needs to be a bit tuned. Before to start, I would like to kindly ask you, as always, to subscribe to my channel, to give a thumbs up to the video if you like it, and to hit the bell in order to stay tuned. This is really very important for me. Once again, this video is sponsored by PCBWay. A big thanks to these guys. All the electronic that you see here, the PCB in terms of the manufacturing, as well as all the components in terms of assembling, has been made by PCBWay in a turnkey manner, and I have to say that it was really a pleasure to work with them once again, so thanks a lot to them. So let's start. As you can see, the console now is off, so today we're gonna really start from scratch. I'm gonna first of all switch on the console. The console is now on, and we're gonna run Cubase. There you go. Cubase is now setting up. There you go. So here we are in the default. There you go. Here we are in the default state before to load the project. As you can see, all the display has already reacted in order to show that we are in the pan layer, and you can see it also from this button on. We are in stop mode because of course we are not running anything, and we have the motor of the flying faders on. Of course, this on and off of the motor is not a physical one. This is just a software one. It is controlled by the DAW, and switching off, simply we are saying to the DAW to not send anymore the message needed to control the fader. So it's really pure software thing, and that's it. So we're gonna run now the demo project. There you go. So everything ramped up correctly. What we see here is that we have all the lights here of the bars which are on, saying that the channel is connected. We have selected track number 1, which is named drums, as you can see here. Here the lights are the same as before. There is couple of things more. We have this button which is on, which is related to the fact that the track that is selected here, the drum 1, is in read mode in terms of automation, and the second button on is this one, which is, as you can see from the screen, is signaling that we are in loop mode, and we have activated the loop mode. So as you can see, the purple thing going on and off. In the screens there are all the names of the tracks, as you can see here, and also the VPots LEDs are reacted accordingly to the information related to the pan pot layer. So we are ready to go, and we go click on play. Now we start fading here. And we go. So I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna make the first close up. I'm gonna go back. There you go. We are back to the start of the track, and we're gonna click the button to flip. There you go. Now we have flipped the functionalities. So now in the pump pot and with the lights surrounding the pump pot, we see the volumes, the volume of the tracks, and here you see the functionality related to the pump pot. So it's the left-right functionality. So now we're going to run again, and you will see the very same thing you've seen before, but flipped. So you will see here the fade in of the volume of the two tracks, and here you will see all the movement related to the pump pots and automated. Let's try. Check here, and there you go. You see it's going up, and also in terms of left and right is moving, and there you go. And we stop again, and we go back because we're gonna see another important functionality related to this. So now we are back. You see the volume here is reset to 0, and now we are gonna switch from in the display from the information related to the pump pot layer to the volume, to the value of the pump pot. So we got this, and now you can see here this is in the center. This is right for 6, left for 20, right for 19, center, and so on and so forth. And we're gonna see the very same thing, but checking the volume which is ramping up here, the pump pot which is moving here together with the faders, and is also reflecting here in terms of the display. So let's try, and we go. You see here it's moving. It's now all on the right, and now it's all on the left. See? That's great. So we stop and we flip back. There you go. Now here we have volume, and here we have pump pot, and we move. So now we're gonna try the feature related to the solo and mute on the channel. So we're gonna stop. We're gonna go back, moving back with the jog wheel, and we're gonna put in. We're gonna run. We're gonna put in solo the effect track, and you will see now the effect track moving. And there you go. So in the effect track, in fact, you have two things. You have the volume which is going up, and you have also a stereo left-right, left-right movement, in order to give the sense of something which is moving in front of you. Let's go back and let's try again. Let's select. There you go. You see now it's selected the effect, and also on the screen now you see really the effect track. And we move. You see? Now we're gonna see the same thing flipped. There you go. We go back. And we go. And there you go. That's great. And we flip back, and we switch off the solo. Actually, there is another way to do it. So if we have more than one track solo, so let's go back. You see only the drum I'm gonna hear. the drum, the bass. This is the kick. And this is keyboard. If we want to switch off all the solo button, it's just enough to do it like this. Solo the feet and everything gets up. So this gives us the possibility to see another thing, another functionality which is very interesting. The fact that with these 8 tracks you can move ahead and back in the mixer of your project in group by 8 for any kind of number, for any number of tracks that you have, and we're gonna see exactly this. So now we are say visualize the first 8 tracks from drums to triangle, okay. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna move everything to the following layer, and I do it like this, clicking on this. So now you see triangle is here, and we added 3 more new tracks, which are this VLC, lo-fi effect, and the synth leader. What is really interesting here to notice is that in this case we don't have 16 tracks. We just have 8 tracks until triangle plus 3. So we have 11 tracks in total. So what is happening moving ahead with the track layer is that is shifting for as much as the system can until the last track, which is 16 track if we have 16 or more than 16, or it's simply the last one if we have less than 16, well, like in this case. Here we have 13, so these are the first 8, triangle is the last one of the group of 8, we move, and triangle is here, and now we have the other 3 here. Let's move back, let's move ahead. This gives us a possibility also to check the functionality of the arrows that you see here. So to this button, as you can see, you can run on the screen and move the tracks. You see that the tracks gets highlighted here. Sorry, oops. Sorry. The tracks gets highlighted here as soon as they are highlighted on the screen. You see? Now you don't see anything anymore because we moved back, let's say 11 minus 8. So we are at the track which is just before the key here. So if we go back, and there we go, it was these E drums, okay. And so now we can move to the other one. Of course, as you can see, you don't see necessarily the track highlighted when I move. This is because on the screen now, as you can see, I have the track, but I'm also showing the automation subtrack. Okay, so when I'm highlighting the subtrack, here is not lighting anything, of course. But as soon as I move to a track, there you go. This is enlightening that the track is selected. And let's move ahead. So we started the lead track, which is giving the lead theme for the song. This gives us the possibility to see another interesting feature. As you can see, one peculiarity of this PS lead is that we don't have enlightened here the read light. So in this track we don't have any automation recorded. If we move back here, we have in fact the light, the green light going on, because we have the automation lights. We have the automation recorded for this lo-fi track. So the point is that the read write, because this is the write, if we want to enable the writing, the read write for the automation is not set in each channel. This is part of the Mackie Universal Control Protocol, so it's something that I cannot change. But there is anyway an easy, quite easy way to use it, because in fact I can switch on and off simply, as you can see, selecting the track and deciding that I want to switch it off or on, or maybe in this case this track don't have any read or write, so I can click on write and automatically switch on also the read. There you go. But in case we want to switch off all the reading function, this is very interesting in my opinion. Let me do this. Sorry. There is an easy way to do it, because we can click on the shift. And as you can see now, the light of the reading gets on even if I was on a track which doesn't have any automation set. Why this? Because switching on the shift, this functionality does not only control one track, the one selected, but it controls all the tracks. So I can switch on and off reading in every tracks. That's it. Let's go ahead. So let's check another interesting feature. So let's move back. So we are back now to the start. I'm going to select effects, for instance. Oh, sorry, that's this. Effects have automations, in fact. I'm looking for a track without automation. Maybe it's triangle, does not have automation. Yes. I'm gonna see another layer that I think it's quite interesting, which is the EQ layer. If we click on the EQ layer, now we are seeing for the selected tracks, triangle, we are seeing all the EQ, the 4 EQ, band EQ functionality. So the frequency cut and the gain on the cut. Okay, in group by 2. This is first frequency, second frequency, third frequency, and fourth frequency. So clicking on this button, edit, this one, okay, we're gonna show on the screen the matrix of the EQ, and clicking on the second VPot we can enable the 4 bandwidth. There you go. So as I was saying before, moving here I can decide the band, go, and the cut. There you go, the cut, the bend, and the cut. This is something that we have already seen in another video, but I find it always very interesting to check. Another interesting functionality on the screen is that clicking on the button of the values here, we can see exactly what we see on the screen. So we can see that for the bandwidth 344 Hz, we can move it to, for instance, 439, and we can cut for minus 1 dB. You see, without checking on the screen, we can have all the information on the track through the display. If we want to modify the Q, for instance, we have again to press Shift and then again EQ, and we are going to go to functionality of the EQ layer, which, as you can see here, has 2 pages, not just one. Without the Shift, it just have 1 page, so everything is here. You can just change between the name and the values, nothing more. But if we click on Shift and then again EQ, we are on a sub routine, a sub function of the EQs, in which we have 2 pages here. And interestingly enough, if we move the page, we have also the Q here. I can decide what is the Q that I want. So for instance, if I go to this third here, I can, you can see it on the screen, you can decide the Q, and again you can switch it on or off. This is something that we had also on the other side. Okay, I think it's very flexible, and again you can use the screen with the matrix via this edit button, or you can simply work directly here, moving. You have the value and then it gets back, or if you want to fix the values, there you go, you have it there. So now we click on Shift and there you go, and we are back to the 1-page functionality. I think that everything is really working properly. I had to fight a little bit with the cables that you don't see here. Unfortunately, some of these, which I have recovered from the version 1 of the console, gets a little bit, how can I say, consumed and loose. So I had some crazy things that was happening, and so I was forced to change some channel, some cable, and to make some trick. But apart from this funny things, as you can see, everything works really well. You have, if you know the Mackie Universal Control Protocol, you have a lot of functionality going here. I just at this point have one doubt. You know maybe that in the original project of Mackie, here in this part, so where you have these layers, you have a kind of stick or magnetic plates that you can attach on your console in order to modify the name of this button, because in fact this button here, the one that I'm highlighting here, can change DAW per DAW. So basically the functionality of this button was left free from Mackie in order to give the possibility to DAW developers to set the things in the way they wanted to. So in order to modify, you have this kind of interface, this kind of plate that you can attach to the Mackie surface. You have one for each DAW. You have one for Cubase Nuendo, you have one for Logic, you have one for Cakewalk or whatever it's called now. You have one per each. And I could replicate the same thing, but I was asking myself if it would not be much more nice here to remove this set of button here, and here put inclined like this a small touch display, not the big one that you had in the first iteration, just a small one, in which you have click on the touch this button, and you can simply configure saying this is Cubase, this is Logic, this is Ableton or whatever. In this way you will not have to buy this plate, you will not have this movable part on your console, you will simply have a display in order to do the things. This is something that I need to think about. Again, it's not a big deal in terms of the implementation itself. I know how to do it. The real issue here is once again the cost. The main reason why I've eliminated the big screen that you had here in the first iteration was the cost. Here that one was a 10-inch screen, which was quite costly and massive. Here I will probably just put a 5-inch one, so a smaller one, which is cheaper, but still if I will use Nextion for instance, which is the same brand that I used for the big one, it's gonna cost money. So I need to really see the pricing and see if it makes sense or not. If I will decide to eliminate this button and put the screen, I will not create the cover and I will go for a third iteration. If I will decide not to do it, I will then print with my printer the cover and I will close this project. This is something that you will discover in the next video. For now, thanks a lot for your attention and see you in the next video. Bye bye, and once again a big thanks to PCBWay for their sponsorship. Thank you.